Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. Coming up, man, last week was a little bit shell-shocking as Jon Moxley returned and had a message for a lot of folks about this ain't your company anymore to Tony Schiavone, directly to via Tony Khan. Well, Jon Moxley comes back and he has more friends in high places that you didn't even believe had, but everything started speculating and unravel coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Also, too, we get to the latest on what's going on. Swerve Strickland brought himself a house, brought his childhood home. You won't believe how it went personal for that. But with Swerve coming up, we get the Pro Wrestling Show started here, right now, on the AEW Dynamite Ring Report here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition. Presents the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. I'm your host, as always, Kid Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe if you can. Tell a friend, call a friend. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Man, oh man, what a Pro Wrestling Show we have for you coming up. All right, we ain't gonna waste your time whatsoever. We're gonna get things started right now with the ring report and reviews on what went down tonight's AEW and what it was. We get to this. Dan Garcia wants to step up and wants to challenge. You know who? Dan Garcia wants to get his hands on MJF real bad. Dan Garcia tries to do what he needs to do and tries to do what he needs to do. But Dan Garcia kind of making it seem like, hey, he's calling out you know who to get his hands on MJF. Dan Garcia will meet MJF this Saturday for All Out. Garcia and MJF have a rivalry that is uncanny, unmatched. And MJF called out Daniel Garcia and told Daniel Garcia about himself. MJF even told the audience that Daniel Garcia ain't nothing. Daniel Garcia tried to come up there. MJF set him up and set him up bad and did what he needed to do. I think MJF is setting him up to feel the wrath of the consequences and stuff on what's going to go down for him and stuff and how that's going to be. But MJF will meet Daniel Garcia this Saturday for All Out. We'll have predicted outcome for All Out coming up here. How that will be. We didn't have like a show, a lot of AEW and stuff like that, but MJF wants to send that message. And he sent that message to a beaten, battered Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia, how he's going to react, try to defeat MJF. We'll see, but Daniel Garcia has his work cut out for him. I mean, has his work cut out for him real bad. What he has to do and what he needs to do. I think Daniel Garcia making it seem like, hey, I gotta do what I gotta do in order to beat this narcissist, this MJF. And MJF's gonna bring all he gonna bring. We could see that being that way for MJF coming up. If MJF finally gets his hands on Daniel Garcia and Daniel Garcia getting his hands on MJF on what went down and stuff. So we'll see on what Garcia is gonna do and what Garcia is gonna say. But Daniel Garcia looking for a fight. And he'll bring the fight like he did last week to MJF. This is gonna be a fight. I can tell you that right now. It's going to be a fight for the ages if Daniel Garcia wants to defeat MJF. We'll see. We'll have that moment in the sun. So we'll see how that's going to go down. But speaking of that, the women's champion, Mariah May, was in action as well. Mariah May defended her women's championship As you recall, Mariah May won her title from Timeless Tony Storm. Mariah May now calls herself the Glamour Mariah May. Mariah May did not waste no time whatsoever. Mariah May getting herself ready, getting herself together. Mariah May, she looks really pretty well with that championship belt around her waist. Last week, she was trying to tease Tony Schiavone, trying to give Tony Schiavone a tease. I don't think he'll never forget. Tony Schiavone will now choose his words carefully when speaking to Mariah May. Mariah May could be one of the most popular, sensuous women's champions in AEW history. If I ever recall, Mariah May winning against Nia Rose, which that was kind of like her first championship defense, the mismatch and stuff. Nia Rose did try to dominate during the end of the match. Did not work for Nia. Nia Rose lost to Mariah May. Mariah May holds her championship. Speaking of more women that could be gunning for Mariah May, you can see Deanna Perrazzo. She wants to get her hands on Thunder Rosa or something like that. Deanna Perrazzo cheers to Thunder Rosa. She's gonna get an opportunity to wrestle Thunder Rosa this week. I think we'll see. Deanna Perrazzo will get an opportunity to wrestle. Let's see what Deanna Perrazzo is gonna do coming forward. So we'll see. She's supposed to have a match soon. So we'll see. Speaking of more women matches, Jamie Hayter returning. Jamie Hayter, kind of like the AEW version of Becky Lynch, won her match tonight. Jamie Hayter gonna win. I think she'll probably go against Mariah May down the road. We can see Jamie Hayter, Mariah May down the road fighting. So we'll see. Also, too, I forgot Mark Briscoe. Got a call from Jay. It's gonna be a trios match. Mark, Jay, but this week on Dynamite, the Blackpool Combat Club, they're gonna defend their six-man tag team titles against um damn, I forgot his name. Let's say Orange Cassidy, Will Ospreay, and not his name, but hey, hey, no matter. But that you know how they go. Orange Cassidy looking to get himself together. Orange Cassidy confronted Chris Jericho. I guess they're gonna renew their rivalry. He's gonna go against Brian Keith. Orange Cassidy looking for a match, and he did. So we'll see. Also, too, the Blackpool Combat Club of Cesaro and Jimmy Wayne and Brian. Um, Lots going on with that. They're probably getting a six-man tag as well. So we'll see. Okada was in action. Okada, the Rainmaker, did his Rainmaker gimmick. Okada did the Rainmaker and rain on him. Okada could be down the road, could be a future AEW champion down the road. Okada setting the sights. You know, Okada was setting the sights for Tanka, Tashida, whatever his name is. We'll see Okada. Actually, I mean, this AEW was okay, but it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that was going was we'll talk about a little bit later on Wrestling Hot Topics on what went down outside AEW. Um, Hiroshita will get a shot at the TBS Women's title. She sent her message to Mercedes Moné. Hiroshita wants a shot at the TBS Women's TBS title, and Sasha Banks, better known as Mercedes Moné, issued the challenge. She wants to give her a shot at the title. How that's going to go down for Mercedes Moné, Hiroshita down the road. Well, we talked about John Moxley. John Moxley said last week that he came back unexpected. Mox came out and said that told Tony Schiavone, this ain't your company anymore. And everyone got confused and everybody was trying to figure out what in the hell Moxley talking about. What is he doing? Moxley coming out of the blue saying some stern stuff. Even Moxley bringing out Maria Shaffer to be his bodyguard in a way. His person he wants to bring. She's kicking butt left and right with him. Well, Moxley did not hesitate again, and Moxley saying that he got in the faces of the elite, and we don't know if the elite and Moxley are in coherence, joining forces. If they conspiring against what they need to conspire, a lot of people are still saying that Moxley might be working with Shane McMahon behind the scenes, or what's going on with that. He said he still wants to talk to Darby Allen. We don't know what's still going on, how that's going to formulate down the road. Who knows? Even to the point that the elite, who Moxley was associated with earlier, saying that they want the AEW championship belt. And they think Jungle Boy, they think Jack Perry is the guy, is they made guy to get the job done to defeat Brian Danielson for the championship. So if they play their cards right, I would like to see them if they're gonna incorporate Shane McMahon, saying that this person knows Daniel Bryan well, that this person wants to take away from Daniel Bryan, and that should be the genesis of that rivalry because Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon did work together a couple of years ago, and it all does make sense if they kind of align that storyline with that saying Shane McMahon wants the championship off of Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan just didn't know someone was out to get him. Um, Even someone that was close to him was like Mox and everybody else, to the point that Moxley won the championship off of him. So it plays different variables. We will have to wait and see on what's going to go down eventually with that storyline coming up. But Moxley, it did me seem apparent to me on what Moxley was doing. So hey, we'll see how they go down the road for Mox and the elite and all of them, how they're gonna play. Well, we get to this. The we know that Shane Strickland earlier will be we know that Shane Strickland will go one on one against fellow rival Heyman Page in a steel cage match. Bad blood already between these two men. They can't stand each other. They can't stand each other's sight. The hate, the intensity, the gall come to a head. Well, we know they had a contract signing. Before we get to the contract signing, early on today, Swerve said that he did a bonus with Tony Khan, got bonus money, and Swerve brought his childhood home. I guess he wanted to start his generational wealth. I guess he thought that it was gonna be generational wealth. Swerve doing what every owner wants to do, be a proud homeowner, owning your own home again that you grew up in, and ain't nothing wrong with that. But Heyman Page decided to take a little bit step further, saying that hey, me and you gonna have a match, but I don't need to have a contract signing. Well, Heyman Page did something revengeful. I think that's what kind of started the genesis of that, and it kind of led to that on what went down. And Heyman Page got revenge at the Swerve a couple of years ago. Came to Heyman Page's house and tried to do a home invasion. And I think Swerve, Heyman didn't forget about that and returned the favor by being an arsonist, by letting the man's house on fire, and did so by enjoying it, enjoying the fruits of the labor and stuff. So hey, all right, that's gonna end the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. Let's move over to wrestling hot topics. On wrestling hot topics, we talk about this. Former AEW announcer, former Ring Honor announcer, former WWE announcer Kevin Kelly has filed a class action lawsuit with the boys, better known as Dalton Castle boys, against AEW, against Tony Khan and Ian Riccaboni. Well, Kevin Kelly revealed that in the lawsuit that he can't find no work after he been fired, and about confusion and lies and all that stuff, defamation of character. Kevin Kelly went and tweeted that a lot of comments, I quote, a lot of comments on our lawsuit, and we will see what happened. I hope to sell this fairly and quietly with AEW, but they left us no choice. And to my friend JR, this is not frivolous in least. We look forward to come what's next. Thank you all very much. Wow, Kevin Kelly, former announcer for AEW. I thought Kevin Kelly would have made a good announcer in AEW, but I guess it just didn't work out with Kevin Kelly and Tony Khan and the rest of them. I really thought Kevin Kelly would have been a voice of something, and I thought AEW would have been the perfect voice for him. Impact, he was the voice of WWE, but unfortunately, Kevin Kelly and the boys have now sued AEW. We're gonna have an update on this, and we'll have more to come if our story, if something else comes along. So keep you in mind of that. Also, Hulk Hogan on Logan Paul's podcast, Impulsive, and he talked about Hulk Hogan been making news lately, rounds and stuff. He got to really keep his mouth shut sometimes. But the Hulkster said something that if the wrestling community can forgive Chris Benoit, why they won't forgive him? And the wrestling community is forgiven to some point. To each his own. You got to do your time. I think what Hogan's talking about is Chris Benoit killed his family, unfortunately, in that incident almost nearly 20 years ago. And Hulk Hogan wants folks to erase that past, but we can't condemn what he did, and we damn sure can't condemn what you're doing. Divine the nation and stuff. And you see why Bobby Heenan didn't it told us not to trust you. Now we're seeing that real loud and clear. What the host was saying. Speaking of what the host was saying, he's saying he's a big fan of CM Punk, but I know CM Punk ain't a big fan of him with the divisiveness and stuff, voting for Trump and everything else, which that's Hogan's right, but Hogan's doing it in a way that really don't make no sense. The hoaxer making that point clear. He's a big fan of CM Punk. Good for him. Well, speaking of that, WWE is selling Titan Towers, the iconic building that was once the headquarters of WWE. Titan Towers now forced to be sold upon. And Titan Towers had a lot going on, moments. Oscar winning her Miss Money in the Bank briefcase. A lot went down, even to the point of what's going on. So Oscar was that. Hopefully, EX trying to ruin corporate headquarters. What they did and stuff. And DX running WWE now. Vince is out of the picture, so hey, there's a lot going on with that. All right, we're gonna end that here on the Pro Wrestling Show. We're gonna end it with Heyman Adam Page. This look right here, burning a house down. Swerve's childhood home, getting revenge on Swerve on what Swerve did to him a couple years ago, and coming invading his home by just sitting down and letting his house get burnt on fire. Man, it's some deep stuff. We're heading towards that all out cage match between him and Swerve. It's gonna be really deep. Well, that's gonna do it for the Pro Wrestling Show for the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. For the next AEW video, we will have predict the outcome for All Out, and I will talk about what's going on All Out coming up. So for the Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Ring Report. I've been your host, Kendrick Dick, saying so long. We'll see you